evening, everyone, and welcome back to King B's Daily RNS Podcast. We go through some RNSs of the day, what happened in each one, and a bit of a market reaction. So first up, GBP. So this has raised another 253,000 and for 421 million shares, covering some liabilities with their obligations. But it says that also about working capital and to look for opportunities. Now, my worry here is how far will 253k go for looking for opportunities? Now, how are they going to bring revenue into the business and get all these things worked out in time for this 253,000 to not run out and therefore require more working capital? Look, I want it to come good. I want it to work out for shareholders. And I'm sorry to be slightly negative, but I think they need some cash. They need some cash and good cash into the company. But the right people are brought on from the other RNS I covered the other day. So hopefully it does turn around with the right people on board. Next up, GGP. Going from GBP to GGP. That's helpful, isn't it? Next up, surface sampling for GGP. They have got 22 samples and they're seeing 0.1% nickel. And they've got a 1.4 kilometre strike, and it includes 800 metres at 0.18. And they're saying basically there's a small sample they've got which has 0.3% nickel in it from a sample, and there's lots of sampling and some infilling to do. So it'd be interesting to see what comes out of this in the future, but some good results to start with, so well done them. Another sort of feather to their cap, which is great. Next up, Cadence, KDNC. So they've got 8% of this evergreen project and company, and they've got 1,007 soil samples, and it's basically large-scale lithium, 30.6 metric tons of lithium at 1.31 Li20. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what revenue comes in for the business. It's still in that stages of not even getting to production yet, so we don't know the numbers as of yet. Next up, ARK, 10% down the day. Drilling started. They're targeting 5.8 GT and 4.82 GT with a 3 metre and 5 metre width respectively in this vein. Yes, it's in that exciting discovery phase, but those widths don't sound too exciting. But we'll need to see with drilling what comes out of it and what the true widths are. But let's see how it gets on in the discovery phase. Next up, Boyle. First step of 3. They've still got environmental approvals and terms of reference and public consultations and all sorts going on. But it's all about this deadline looming that people are talking about with all the noise going around at the moment with the rises and falls. But it's about this drill drop decision in December that people are obviously aware of, and will they have to push it back again? They've got first a number of first a number of workshops with drill planning, and there's the next one planned for mid-December. So will it all come together in time for the drill drop decision? 5% down on the day. Next one, FMET, Fulcrum Metals and Palm own 20% of Fulcrum Metals, did a joint RNS pretty much. So they're trying to purchase 100% of a gold tailing project. 9 million tonnes of ore milled previously, but it's a non-compliant resource. So what they're trying to do now is test the material in Q1 2024 to work out the grade and other bits that they want to know for sure before they get into the operation and their work there. So next up, we're going to go to TYM. So they have got now to this decision point where they've got draft agreements going on with the company. They got through the due diligence process, which is great. So it seems that the company are happy. 8% up on the day. Hopefully this can be a turnaround story for investors. Next up, Ben's Creek, Ben. So they've got 33,000 of short tons of high volume B coal. And they want to get this done and sold in January 2024. But there's a big little caveat in the RNS saying that testing and everything will be done on site at the time. So whether that tonnage stays the same, what grade, and it says about penalties if it doesn't meet a certain grade and requirement. So it'll be interesting to see what comes with that. Next up, Hull. So 5% down on the day. They're talking about whether some of their contracts will have to get pushed into different revenue and auditing period. So they're talking to their auditor at the moment to work out if they can put the value of a whole contract in now, or they have to defer depending on when the contract is fulfilled and different things. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of that in their accounts. But they seem like they say they're going to match their expectations, which would be good. Next up, Ondo. So a placing to raise £1 million pretty much. And it's at 20.5 pence per share, 3% down the day, for working capital. So it's a lot of money for working capital. But they're saying it's to get approvals and accreditations and different things. They're going to help them with this NatWest contract they've just fulfilled in the Americas. So last up, we're going to look at SCLP. So this is what I found really odd, is they're extending their cash runway, which apparently was already in 2025, to even later in 2025 by raising £6 million. So obviously, with these sort of companies, they really get through their cash burn because it seems like I've got a lot going on. So it's 10% down the day, but there's a lot in the RNS today about all the things they're doing. So give it a read, because the £6 million hopefully will go a long way and get them over the line to get some exciting projects in the future. It's a shame they probably had a raise now, but they're going to take an opportunity of a share price, aren't they, if they can. So there's an RNS from the day. We've got our description of our largest UK Telegram group in our description. If you like what you hear, please come on board. It'd be great to have you. And we're research driven and we really focus on facts. Have a great evening. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow.